608 Gamer 07 asked, "What's your ideal Zelda movie?" A non-existent one.
You get out.
I think we've talked about this one. Like,
I know. I was like, well, but I don't know if it's actually has it been specifically asked as a question.
Kind of.
I guess it's
Not
been.
In this
we've talked about it.
They haven't asked
they're
it
asking
this
like
way.
an actual movie, and for me, I'm like, the best Zelda movie is the one that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do not like the entire video game to movie thing. It's just not really, it doesn't do it for me, and most of the time it's really not that good.
No, and I think I'm in the same position, and I think a lot of people may disagree about it. But for me, it's like, I think I just enjoy gaming as a medium better, and I think that's where my distaste for it comes from, because in this medium, it's almost like you have an extra dimension where you're inserting yourself into it. So it's not just you're not just a viewer looking into it. You're a part of the world, and you're making choices that influence the world, and you're playing an active role in the story. And then you step into a movie, and you are the viewer. You have no choice in what events will occur. You have no agency. You are strictly on the outside looking in, right? And this is not to say that movies as a medium are bad, because there's a lot of movies that are really good, and I really like movies. And but I think because of that, when you take something that's a game, and you're in it as a fan, and you're inserting yourself into it, and then you have to take a step back and just be a viewer, you lose a part of what is fun about that. You lose a part of what what makes that interesting and exciting as a medium. So for me, like, that's I'm so boring that Kayla just totally she's just like, I'm done listening to this guy talk. But I just feel like you lose an important part of what makes these franchises so much more special to us than a lot of movie franchises are. I don't know. That's my hot take on the subject.
I will say, I totally understand if someone calls me a hypocrite, because I was part of the Zelda Universe Ocarina of Time voiceover, which they just did the second part.
Right.
But
for you were a part of it.
That's true. I was a part of it, but I was still advocating it as a sort of movie. But to that, I would say it's clearly a fan-made thing. It's cutscenes from it put together, and there was a ton of hard work that went into it. But it's so clearly just meant to be fan.
But it's supplemental, right? It's not
exactly.
Which is why I think if they absolutely had to make a Zelda, don't remake a game and make it into a movie. Make it supplementary. No. Because if you try and replace the game with the movie, it's not going to work. But if you make it supplementary, like just a side piece, then it has a chance of actually working and pleasing people and not being like... Yeah. And I think it's the same thing with books, but to a different degree. Like with books, it's like it's a translation, but it's to a different medium. So you do kind of lose a part of what's good about it, but then you also kind of gain something as well, because there's different aspects to that medium. But with specifically video games to movies, there's nothing in a video game that can't be in a movie. Or no, sorry, other way. There's nothing in a movie. Sorry, there's nothing in a movie that can't be in a video game, but there are things in video games that cannot be in movies. So the translation, it's not one-to-one that way.
Yeah.
So,
well,
I should teach a class on this.
I would say that it's easier to transition a book to a movie than it is a video game to a movie, and that's saying something, because books to movies don't always work well. Like, you have as far as I'm aware, Percy Jackson, which was just an utter fail.
I love those movies.
I heard that they did no justice to the books. But I can't say that.
I got so sad when they got canceled.
But that's just me. I haven't actually read the books or seen the movies. That's just what I heard. I do know for a fact, Divergent, when it was made into a movie, I didn't like the Divergent series, but I felt bad for the fans because the movie, I only saw the first one, was so terrible and was nothing like the book. An example, kind of a book to movie version example of what I think, Daniel, you and I think of a video game to movie Zelda should be like, I always use this reference, but Hunger Games. What do I mean by that? Not the first movie, but the second / third and fourth, once Francis Lawrence took over. And here's my thing. The books were all from Katniss's perspective, 100%. And they tried originally, even in the first one, they cut back on it, but originally there were so many deleted scenes that were purely Katniss's perspective. And when you watch them, you're just like, this makes no sense. Even if you've read the book, because you cannot read her thoughts. You cannot display her thoughts in movie form and have it work the same way it did in the books. So what did they do? They changed it. They changed the medium. They changed the books ever so slightly to work in movie form by adding these extra scenes, making it from other people's perspectives, looking at President Snow's perspective, looking at President Coin's perspective. Nothing was Katniss 100% through, because that wouldn't make sense. So compare that to bringing Zelda into a movie. It would need to be a similar concept of where don't try to make a video game movie, make a movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, and that's kind of my thought as well. Is like you have to make it its own. Like it has to be a more of work on its own that can stand by itself without relying on the medium that it's translated from.
Yeah,
because it'll fall apart at that point. And also, it's playing a dangerous game, because with books to movies, not everyone's gonna be happy with it. They're gonna be people walking out and they're gonna be like, it's not as good as the book. Always. So,
I love the Hunger Games movies, but they're not as good as the books.
Yeah,
it's just how it is. Sorry, that was meant to be like a short answer one, and
it was supposed to be a short answer. That's why you picked it.
It's funny because
I'm sorry.
I left because my landlord showed up again, and then I came back and I was like, oh, she recently reread all of the books and watched the movies, so she's gonna be talking about this. So I jumped back in. And I was like, I know what's happening.
But yeah, sorry for going on a little lecture there and on our short topic.
No, so my quick answer.
We didn't even get Jesse a chance to answer.
Jesse, give us the real quick answer.
I would not want a movie because I would like to see it have more time as a TV series.
I'm game for that as well. That's the thing, is I generally prefer long form series where they can really pace things out. Here's a good example: Avatar: The Last Airbender. Okay.
Yeah.
When they made the movie, which is notoriously bad, I hate it. It feels like 3 hours, but it's actually an hour and a half. But that movie, the biggest thing with it, okay, there's a lot of problems with it, but for me, the biggest problem, other than the writing and the acting and all of the casting choices and also all the special effects, the biggest problem with it,
was other than that it existed.
The pacing was awful in it, and that's because they took 20-minute long episodes and tried to condense it into an hour and a half. And you'd lose so much. You'd lose so much character development. You'd so much
I say the ending was cool?
The ending was just as cool in the original series, though.
Yeah, but that's what that was the one. So the very, very beginning and the very, very
I've never seen Avatar, so I have no idea.
So
it's a great series.
You gotta watch it.
It's about these weird blue cat people that
I know what it's about. I've never seen it.
So
it's really good. I really recommend it.
The movie and the anime, they do both begin and end literally the same.
Yes, but everything in the middle is just, it's like they took the series and then threw it in a blender for the whole middle portion, and then just tried to crank out, pour this horrible Avatar smoothie out onto the screen, and and the thing is, you lost all of the great bites of flavor, you lost all of what made this so good, all these little character moments that this show is so good for. The characters in that show are written so well, and then in the movie, because they erased everything, everyone in the movie is bland and mopey. There's no levity because they're just trying to get through all the important moments, right?
You got the waterfall at the end.
That's awkward.
Yeah, and it's just, and then freaking even Sokka, who's the notorious, he's the comic relief character, he's the goofball who makes the bad puns and stuff, and is boomerang, and he's great, and he's just serious mope the whole movie, and it's just who are these characters? And Katara, who's supposed to be this very strong-willed person, because there's no time for them to show that. She's just this mope the whole movie. And Aang doesn't get to be a kid in the movie. He's just a mope. Everyone's mopey.
This doesn't
it's such a bad movie.
Aren't they remaking the movie?
They better not. Just freaking leave it alone. They had a great show. Just leave it be. Just let it be what it was.
I forget what. There's like a meme going around that. Oh, I can't believe there's a new Avatar movie. But then in the next panel it says, but it's being made by the same people who made such and such movie.
Oh yeah, it's for Netflix.
But the thing is, like, the Avatar, or they only called it The Last Airbender because it was hot off the heels of James Cameron's Avatar. But the Last Airbender movie was done by M. Night Shyamalan, and he has some critical acclaims to his name. That's the thing, is that some of his later films were not as good, but he had made some really good movies before that. So you could look at that and say, hey, this guy has made this and this and this. So he's got a good track record. He's going to make a good movie. But no.
Nope.
All right.
No.
So this is on episode 3 of Friends with Friends.
Oh my God.
Movie edition.
The director, or the people creating the 2019 Netflix show, said, we're thrilled for the opportunity to helm this live-action adaptation of Avatar: The Last Airbender. We can't wait to realize Aang's world as cinematically as we always imagined it to be, and with a culturally appropriate, non-whitewashed cast. It's a once-in-a-lifetime chance to build upon everyone's great work on the original animated series and go even deeper into the character, story, action, and world building. That is a straight-up lie. You cannot go deeper in a 2-hour movie with character, story, action, and world building than you can in a 20-hour series.
I really like that they had to point out that it's not whitewashed.
Yeah.
But that was the thing with the M. Night Shyamalan movie, it was very whitewashed, because all of the different nations or whatever in the series were very culturally distinct, and all of them were kind of Asian. Which is, they were all kind of non-distinctly, vaguely Asian, but distinctly different from each other.
They're like,
so except for the water side was kind
Asian.
of like Inuit, but vaguely. But the thing is, like, it was definitely in the movie. It was just like an all-white cast, except for some reason the Fire Nation, the bad guys were all Indian.
Racist.
So, but M. Night Shyamalan is Indian. So I don't know, but like the director was Indian. I think he made a cameo in it as like a Fire Nation guy too. But it was
so, I remember the scene when it took like 10 earthbenders to move a single boulder.
That's the thing. It's like, oh, that movie. It makes you so. Here's the thing. This is again the same thing. Don't remake it. Make it supplementary. Don't make a movie to replace something that was great.
They said this was going to be an adaptation, a reimagined version.
I don't want that!
Okay. All right. So, Ilya, you always wanted to do your like Netflix and chill thing to where like you stream and watch things with everyone.
What?
Don't stream that! You'll get banned from Twitch.
No.
I am the last person that would do that.
Okay, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it in the way.
Netflix and chill.
I was meaning she's always talked about wanting to get a group of friends together online to all watch a movie.
Okay.
Like, because I used to do that, where a few friends, or actually no, this was like back when I dated.
What's a dating?
Ew. Like, because I had a couple of long distance relationships, we would Skype and then one of us would share our screen. But then we couldn't see each other. But then I think it was Gibbs that told me about a site where like you can rent the movie, which is kind of annoying if you already have it on DVD, but you can rent the movie and then a bunch of people that are on your friends on that site can join and watch together. And I'm like, I don't want to do that this year, but maybe next year I'll have a bunch of people watch Hunger Games with me. It's like, you're not watching. I'd have to explain to people, it's like, you're not joining to watch the movie, you're going to watch me watch the movie, because it's hilarious. Not even kidding. Every year it starts once it starts with by Mockingjay 1 and 2, I'm sobbing the entire movie.
I'm pretty sure, didn't you post something about you sobbing? I'm pretty sure I saw a
on those
post
like
about you
hour-long
sobbing.
Instagram stories.
Yeah.
I think it was like one was after rereading them, and then one was after rewatching them. And I'm just like, guys, I can't. Like, especially Catching Fire. There are a ton of moments where I'm in this chair and it was like over by the TV, and I literally had so many moments where I just went, no, not this part, not this part, not this part. And I'm like crying, and my mom's like,
ready to get emotionally destroyed.
I get wrecked by this series.
Cliff
But
rated
wait, why'd
us.
you bring that up? Because I don't Netflix and chill, obviously, but...
No, because I was saying it would be funny if we all watched it, and kind of like how you were saying your reactions to that, seeing Daniel's reaction to The Last Airbender movie.
Oh yeah, when that new one comes out, we all need to watch together. Really?
That means I have to watch the entire series first.
Okay.
Nah, they'll recap it for you.
You would thank us.
No! She's not gonna. That's the thing is, if you watch the movie, you're gonna be like, I don't want. It was bad. Like
I watched it for
it was good.
I watched it all for the first time, like years after the entire series had ended. So like,
same here.
Oh, me too. I had a guy that I was dating at the time, and he was like, "Oh, watch Avatar." And so we watched a couple episodes and was like, yeah, this is okay. And then we stopped dating and I was like, oh, it's good, but now I feel weird watching it. But I like slowly picked it off. And then when I finally finished it, I was like, oh my gosh. And then I binge watched Avatar. And then I went back and recently binge watched Avatar.
I watched it this year again. Only my second time watching through it, but I guess the first time it left a very good impression because I remembered most of it very, very well and everything. But my wife had never watched it. Obviously, my kid hadn't either because he's 6. But we watched it all, and we all loved it. You know, we all had a great time. But Spencer, he loved it so much. He dressed as Aang for Halloween, and I was like,
nice,
yes.
Which was hilarious because Daniel and his wife were Bob and Linda from Bob's Burgers.
Yes,
and I was like, oh, you guys have birthed the Avatar.
Yes.
All right. Next question.
Classic.
Next question.
Yeah.
I guess we're doing a mailbag, aren't we?
We're getting close to the midnight. So.
Oh,
yeah.
I have my question.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
My question comes from Buzzin' Tate. He actually tagged me in the mailbag.
Oh.
He's a good friend of mine, IRL.
Oh yeah.
I say good friend, but I haven't seen him in a very long time. Anyways.
Oh no.
He asks, 2D or 3D Mario?
3D.
3D.
I like the 2D Marios, don't get me wrong, but the 3D Marios, especially like
3D World,
Mario Galaxy,
Odyssey, 64,
3D World.
Sunshine.
3D World is like the middle. It's like the bridge between 2D and 3D
but
Mario.
it's so fun.
But I love that game as well. I don't know, man. This is too hard. You're like,
You're making him pick between children.
Yeah, kind of, because it's like some of my favorite Mario games. Mario Odyssey right now is like awesome. I love it.
And you can play 2D.
But also like Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo.
Oh, so good.
It's they gave us that Yoshi. I can't choose.
Super Mario World and also Mario Galaxy. Can this just be like my happy medium right there?
Yeah.
Like Odyssey's great, but nothing beats Mario Galaxy for me still, so.
Okay, so here's the thing. 2D Mario games, because the games that I had when I was young and just the activities that I could do when I was young in general were very limited. So I didn't have many games. Some of the games I did have were Super Mario World. So I would just play it over and over to the point to where that game is just boring to me now. Because I'd played it so much for like years.
Oh no.
Just playing Super Mario
World.
World.
Teach a lecture class on how great that game is.
No, so
go on.
When it came out on Wii U, on the Virtual Console, I was like, oh, I used to play Super Mario World all the time. I'll buy it again and play it again. I bought it and I was like, I know why I didn't play this game for like 15 years. So then,
oh no.
Yeah, so I am going to say favorite game to play with other people, just in general, one of my favorite games, Super Mario 3D World. But
yes,
I also want to say, I don't know if it counts as a Mario game, but Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon is amazing.
Oh, don't even get me started.
That's a Luigi.
Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, the original Luigi's Mansion. Bless.
But that's a Luigi. We're talking about the Mario.
Mario's in it.
We're talking about the Mario.
He's in a painting.
It's a Luigi
is Yoshi's Island a Mario game? No, it's a game.
Well, with that being said, WarioWare is amazing.
It's Wario. That's
Super
not a
Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island.
That was a marketing thing. The reason they did that. Because they were like, no one's going to buy Yoshi's Island, but they'll buy Super Mario World 2.
The real Super Mario World 2 was being made on the CDI.
No, but...
Super Mario Wacky Worlds.
I hate it.
That being said, I am very excited for the reboot of, what is it, New Super Mario Bros. Deluxe?
Yeah!
The New Super Mario Bros. Deluxe.
They needed to make it online multiplayer.
The horrible monstrosity that birthed Bowsette, because even though it should be called Peachowser, and no, because Bowsette is Peachette is if Toadette gets the special mushroom.
Explain it right. There are almost 80 people watching.
Okay, if the character Peachette is if Toadette gets the special mushroom and becomes Peach, so Toadette becomes Peachette. Okay, if Bowser gets the special mushroom as well, he would not be called Bowsette because he's not Toadette getting the mushroom. He would be called Peachowser because it's Bowser becoming Peach, not.
That's true. Because
so it would be
Toad would become Bowser.
Everyone has to go and change all their hashtags and Instagram posts from Bowsette to Peachowser. It's okay. I've declared it so. Peachowser. It because Toadette does not play any part in that transaction. Okay, so Booette, that's Pichu. Pichu.
All right.
I don't have a good answer for that.
Did everyone finish the question?
Yeah.
No, Super Mario World's great. Okay. The music is super thematic. Okay. The cape is an amazing power-up that trumps the leaf raccoon tail thing any day. The Tanuki suit. The level design has a really great connectivity with the overworld. Star Road exists, and that's awesome. The world building in it is great. Like, you've got the sunken ship that's supposed to be like one of Bowser's airships from Super Mario Bros. 3 that was sank. Also, Yoshi is the greatest thing, even though you have to kill him intentionally in one level in order to get the secret exit. The fact that there are secret exits in the world. The music is, I said it before, it's super thematic because they have basically like the same running tune, but somehow it never gets old because they remix it into different areas to fit the tone of those areas. And the level design is like super accessible, but it starts to get really, really, really challenging unless you know how to exploit the cape. So it's based on your skill, really. But you can exploit the cape and just like fly over half the levels, which is fun. So it's extremely broken, but it's like the most fun thing ever. How dare you, Jesse? Okay, that's all. I love you. Thank you. I
also love that moment where Daniel was like that weird like leaf cape thingy animal Tanuki suit.
The Tanuki suit.
And you like went through 3 different variations before you got to Tanuki.
Yeah, Ilya, did you answer your favorite Mario?
Yeah, I said 3D 3D because even though I respect the classic side-scroller 2D games, I find them so boring. But that's just because I don't enjoy side-scrolling. Except for Kirby.
So Odyssey
I just don't enjoy side-scrolling except for Kirby. Although I'd be willing to try Yoshi though.
Okay, so didn't Odyssey and Galaxy both had 2D and 3D levels?
I know Odyssey has those too.
Only kind of.
And those are the parts I can't stand, is when I have to be 2D Mario.
Alright, next question. Daniel, do you
Daniel's
wanna...
Yeah, it's Daniel's turn.
The next question.
Also,
he's on the floor
my head is gonna explode.
Mr. Well, you can get 2 questions, Daniel, because Mr. Well said that I promised to answer his question, but I don't remember what his question is.
Oh, no.
Sorry, I apparently stabbed someone's heart in the chat.
Oh, no.
Who?
They stabbed my heart because they spelled my name wrong.
You stabbed it by saying you don't like the 2D one.
Yeah, well, they stabbed my heart because they spelled my name wrong. Everyone keeps spelling Kalia with 2 L's. There was only 1 L.
What about Super Mario Maker, guys?
I never played it.
It's so good.
It's $40. I don't want to do that.
It's
only $40.
The 3DS version would be cheaper.
If I'm gonna pay $40 for a game, it's gonna be Majora's Mask 3DS.
The 3DS version of Super Mario Maker makes no sense because they're like, here's a game where you can make your own custom levels and put them online, and everyone can play your Mario levels. Oh, and we're gonna re-release it on the 3DS, so now you can make your own custom levels, but you can't put it online, so there's no point.
Good point.
Anyways, sorry, Nintendo. I don't understand a Nintendo.
Also, thank you, Cousin Tate, for fixing your mistake. I appreciate that very much.
I very much enjoy the 3D Mario games, guys. I really love them all. But I don't know. 2D Mario has like a really special place in my heart, so I hate you all. That's what I'm saying. I choose Mario over this podcast.
I choose Mario Paint over everything.
Oh, Mario Paint. Also, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, you guys. I love you all. I love you.
Not gonna say hi to you at work anymore.
No. Oh.
I'm just kidding.
No, never mind. I think the only question I can find from him was which mailman was our favorite.
Which mailman?
Which
we talked about that one.
Week.
Yeah.
Which mailman?
Yeah, so we got that one answered.
From, like,
so yeah, last
Zelda?
question, Daniel.
Huh?
Give us a question, Daniel.
See if we can get out before midnight. You got 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just looking through the mailbag thing. I didn't pick one out. I should have done that.
He was going on multiple tirades.
Oh yeah.
I was getting worked up here, guys.
That friends with friends.
Oh yeah,
He's
friends with friends.
Angry, and he's gonna tell us how dumb we are.
I'm kidding. I'm just probably gonna play Mario. So, no, I'm still playing through Pokemon. I gotta finish that first.
Yeah. Also, everyone watching, join the Discord and you can chat with us and stuff. Matt says answer mine on the Discord. Did he post one on Discord?
Matt said that? Matt Fry, answer mine. Let's find it. Matt Fry, where's your question on Discord? Fry Guy 07. Do you think there will be a steampunk Zelda game? Please no. I don't like
the
steampunk.
Rumored the Wind Waker prequel. That was rumored a long time ago.
I think I have like an automatic aversion to steampunk. Like something in my brain just like rejects it out of principle because my mother likes steampunk. So like she's really cool and trendy and whatever, but for some reason like when she really latches onto something like that, I just like can't approach it. so please don't put steampunk in my Zelda. But also some of the Sheikah stuff, not all of it, but some of it was vaguely steampunk-ish. So I mean that's pretty close, I guess.
What was it?
Like some of the Sheikah stuff, like inside the shrines and stuff.
Yeah, the style of things.
Like some of it was kind of vaguely steam, you know, but
I got that vibe.
Not super steampunk. But yeah, no, I don't want steampunk Zelda because of my own personal biases, I guess.
I would say I think some of the tech in Skyward Sword was steampunk. Like there was the pirate guy.
Yep. Oh yeah, I would say he's kind of steam.
Some of the Twilight Princess tech seemed steampunk. Like I did like an article on it, or basically an article. The Dominion Rod, yeah. It looks like not the way that it's used, but the way that it looks steampunk. And then like you have the statues that kind of like hop around. I guess that doesn't really count because none of it's being powered by Steam. But
J2 in the chats, the Spirit Tracks has a lot of Steam, not so much punk.
It was really funny because Tubes
so funny,
went
I
like
forgot
this.
to laugh.
Tubes went like this at the same time Daniel like smacked down. And I thought you two were gonna like high five.
High five!
That would have been amazing. Go this way according to the
Daniel and I are just that in sync with each other. We're just like,
is Chablima the one on the
video? Oh my god, I just saw it happen in the chat.
Oh my god.
Yeah, since that was a simple one, Abigail's is kind of a good one.
Okay, yeah, let's see. If you could choose any Zelda dungeon made for DLC as Breath of the Wild, what would you choose?
Okay, so Forest Temple or from Ocarina of Time or
oh my god.
Stone Tower Temple. Because it's Stone Tower Temple is one of the only actual dungeons that makes use of every item in the game.
Yeah,
like there are the typical end game dungeon like Ganon's castle or whatever, but those are like end game dungeons. Stone Tower Temple, it's not the end game dungeon because you go to the moon and then there's like the masks that you give to the kids. Ilya, hi. I feel like you have something. So we're gonna wait. Daniel, what is your that's yeah, what is it, Ilya?
Any Zelda dungeon to be DLC for Breath of the Wild. If I had to choose the Forest Dungeon in Wind Waker, Forest Haven,
ooh, yeah,
or whatever. I say that because there are Koroks, because there are Koroks in Breath of the Wild, and at one point I think there was a scrapped idea for there to be Kokiri, and there was going to be like a Divine Beast dungeon in there. So to be able to have a forest themed dungeon of some sort, I think would be cool. And because of the Koroks, I would say that one, something like that. Except keep the Deku Tree as he is, because the one in Wind Waker looks dopey.
That's because in the Wind Waker, that's the Deku Tree Sprout.
Yeah, he's in his teenage phase.
Yeah, he's he's big now.
I like the Snow Peak ruins. It's really cool.
I was just thinking about that
because I literally wrote like a 3,000 page thing on it. So
yes, I like that script, by the way, a lot.
It'll probably never get done because it's too long to record.
Okay, I'll do it.
Hey, you said Agatha was too long to record, and I got that.
No, Agatha was like the Agatha thing was too long for the top 5. So like it's its own
right.
Yeah.
Just make them all separate videos. Yeah. We can do it.
But
Forest Temple Ocarina of Time is real good.
Yeah, but I said the Snow Peak ruins because I like the idea of a dungeon where there are just characters casually chilling out. So like if there was a forest temple and like you'd go into a room to like do something really important and there's just like a Korok or a Kokiri that's just like, what are you doing in my house? Like, this is my room. Get out. Like the fire temple in Twilight Princess. Like there was the rooms that has like the seats and stuff, and like there were the elder Gorons that you would see, and they're just like, well, what are you doing? Like this is
you ain't supposed to be here.
Yeah. So I like that. Like it made the dungeons feel like they were being lived in and stuff instead of just like a random decayed thing.
In the chat, J2 says, "Ooh, Hebra Snow Peak ruins." So like I guess Snow Peak as we kind of know it already. I kind of figure Hebra is kind of like Snow Peak, functionally really similar. Actually, layout kind of really similar as well. To be honest.
Yeah, because they're both like to the west. Yeah.
Yes.
West.
Yeah. North of Gerudo Desert,
but they're not
in both cases.
Yeah.
And though in Breath of the Wild, not at all connected to Zora's Domain. But there's this part where the layout
is right above the Gerudo Desert, though. In both games.
Yes, north. Yes. So, yeah, but I think that would be neat. Okay, he said also a city in the sky. So I'm not sure if he means the city in the sky from Twilight Princess, maybe Skyloft, but also thinking the Wind Ruins, or the Wind Palace, rather, from Minish Cap would be really cool. Skykeep, also, like I think a dungeon like that's in the sky, I really like that idea, but we already have that. I really like the idea, though, but we already have that with the Divine Beast.
Yeah, but the Divine Beast isn't the dungeon, though, or like the city, because that was like a man-made thing below that came up, whereas the rest were just like remnants of Skyloft.
True, but like I don't know. I guess I like the idea because I like the idea of having a dungeon that's set in the sky, and also I was thinking like, oh, it'd be cool like if you could paraglide down from there to the real world, but you can't do that even with Meadow, unfortunately.
So
but airport dungeons are super cool.
I forgot what it was called in Minish Cap, the mine with the mine cart that would just like move you back and forth. To see that in 3D would be really cool.
That would be that's shades of Donkey Kong 64.
You just like jump in the minecart and then it just goes like 100 miles per hour. Or, I'm sorry, 100 kilometers per hour.
I love it.
For you Canadians, yeah. Which Skyward Sword also does, going to the desert. You get on the minecarts and it like.
But they're slower. They're much. Oh no, there is the fast one. Fast minecart.
And then don't you have to jump as well? In one of them? Okay. Like in Donkey Kong?
Yes. Yeah, it's total Donkey Kong. You actually just reminded me of Linearu mining. Just please don't have the really terrible music. But that's the only song in Skyward Sword that I don't like. The rest of the soundtrack is gorgeous, but that would be really cool if you could use the Sheikah technology to like revive some of the machines that are in that dungeon as well. I don't know, like reactivate some of them.
So you're talking about ugly music, and then after this I will shut up for good, I promise, and then we can get to Tubes.
No, we love you talking.
I was reading through the Iwata Asks, and there was a part where Miyamoto and Aonuma were talking about the music composers for the game, because they had a few different people that were making music, and Aonuma and Miyamoto wanted it to be kind of disturbing and unpleasant when you were in wolf form, so they wanted to give everything kind of a dull, uglier color when you're a wolf, and they wanted the music to be like not necessarily eerie but unpleasant, to where it doesn't necessarily creep you out, but you're like, oh, this doesn't sound good, I want to hurry and get out of this, to let the player know that they're supposed to continue on from being a wolf, like they're meant to be a human. So they wanted the atmosphere and the music and everything to incorporate that feeling, to where like you aren't meant to be this wolf. The Twilight Realm isn't meant to be here, and they didn't just want you being a wolf and everything else being in the Twilight Realm to convey that. They wanted the music and everything else to convey it. So they would come up with like 15 different versions of a song, and Miyamoto would be like, no, it needs to be worse. It needs to be worse. And then they'd come back and be like, no, this sucks. It needs to be better, but not too good. So like they would have to, like, they would play like a normal song, but then like some of the notes would be really off key, or like it would be out of rhythm or something. So
it's funny because the Twilight music I actually really like that song. I actually really like it.
Yeah.
Because it is atmospheric. It fits the vibe of that perfectly, and it's got like a lot of very ambient and like very like minor touches that's like if you weren't really listening to the music you totally would miss it, but if you're listening there's these like weird subtle build-ups and drop-offs and things like that, and it is really eerie. I'm not like super music savvy, even though I fiddle with music, but I don't know how to read music and stuff, so I don't know all the terminology, but the way it's structured is unorthodox for sure, and it feels perfect for what it is. Like it hits that ambience and that atmosphere for what is happening in the game like 100%. So I guess whatever they're going for was good, but it's kind of ironic that they were like, make it unpleasant, because I like it. So
yeah.
Oops. Yeah.
It's actually in my top 5 for Twilight Princess songs, which I have a video on that, but I don't know when that one will release. It'll be forever, but...
Alright, Tubes.
Also...
Hi.
I was just going to say in the chat, Tyrell Jones says the pirate ship in Skyward Sword or the ancient cistern. Those are both really good choices as well, I would just say. I didn't think of that. But...
Yeah, the pirate ship could be in Breath of the Wild too, because there's just a giant desert. But
it's true.
Tubes.
So oddly enough, I got distracted with popcorn, I think, when you asked the question, and then I tried to find Abigail's question, and I was like...
What dungeon from previous games would you want to be remade in Breath of the Wild as a new dungeon? I picked...
Like DLC or something.
Yeah, like I had picked the Forest Temple or Stone Tower Temple or Snow Peak Ruins from Twilight Princess.
I was actually gonna say Snow Peak Ruins. I really liked that.
Ah.
And it would work well in like the Hebra region.
Yes. Yes.
Are they both in the same province?
Hebra and Snow Peak?
Yeah.
What do you mean? I mean, there's not. I mean, kinda.
I don't think.
Like, if you look at the map side, like, I don't recommend usually being like theoretical with geography in Zelda.
Yeah, geography
Right.
in Zelda
Because it
Game.
But
changes.
Hebra and Snow Peak are one of the ones that I think actually do line up really well, because even in the game area, I gotta try and describe this so it makes sense. But like, okay, for it, like on the map, it's in the top, like the northwestern corner of Hyrule in both games, and there's a part when you first enter Snow Peak where you go down. There's like the water, and you got to jump over. There's like all the ice on the water, and then there's basically a slope that slopes up and kind of around and back up before the big slope downwards to the mansion. I really hope you're kind of bearing with me here. In Hebra, there's basically an area that's identical to that. There's the big water area. There's no ice to jump on, but there is a huge lake there. And then there's a slope that goes up, and it curves around in almost the same way, but bigger, of course. And that starting point, that's actually the finish line if you do the shield surfing races on Hebra. So that's where the finish line is. But if you're walking up it from the finish line and walking up to the peak of Hebra, it's almost the same as going. It's like almost the layout is almost the same as going up Snow Peak in Twilight Princess. So for me, that kind of cements it. That is the same spot, really. But but I don't generally recommend going off geography in Zelda because nothing is the same.
Yeah.
They purposely make every
ever.
map of Hyrule different.
Yes.
So it's probably just a huge coincidence that is so similar, but obviously more open in Breath of the Wild and larger scale. But for me, it was just like something I realized only on my third playthrough, that I was like, okay, not only did I already think this was the same thing, but like it's more similar than I realized. So, oops, sorry. I just ruin everything by talking too much.
Oh, it's good.
Snow Peak's a good choice, though. It's a great dungeon.
Yeah, no, that was like the first one that came to mind. I'm really glad that one came to my mind so fast because I was like really behind on the entire conversation, apparently.
Woohoo! It's okay, you did it.
Yeah.
I get to go to bed and be anxious.
We almost made it to
tomorrow.
midnight.
Yeah. I want to say the really weird thing is all of the provinces in Twilight Princess have their own deities. Like Ordona,
right.
Nehru, and everyone. But the peak,
Elden, Faron.
Yeah. The Peak province does not have its own thing, but it is labeled the Peak province for Snow Peak Ruins. But there is no deity type thing there. So maybe there was going to be, and they left it out.
But there's no one in the Gerudo Desert either, which is its own province.
But that's in the Lineru, isn't it?
I think technically it's a separate province. I think. But maybe it just falls because it's so close to Lake Hylia that it just falls under the same.
Because there used to be a way, they said that you could get to the desert, but then they blocked it off. So now you have to use the cannon, which is completely unrealistic, but sure. Alright, that is the Hylian Gamescast. Everyone, episode 63. Thank you for watching. Please join the Discord. You can leave your questions for us to get sidetracked on and maybe answer on the Discord. You can be updated on all the other videos that we do or whenever we go live. Daniel's been playing through Zelda 2. He's about to finish.
I'm almost done. I'm on the last dungeon.
Had a lot of really great.
You can do a Link to the Past.
Yeah, Tubes had a lot of really great banjo streams.
Yes, everyone really likes my Ocarina of Time stream. Apparently, that's like the most popular. So I'll be getting back soon.
It's because you don't know how to throw bombs properly.
Oh my goodness.
I always have problems throwing bombs into the spinning vase.
What? Oh my gosh, same.
What? You guys.
I have trouble throwing the bomb to get the baby Goron to stop. Not the baby Goron, but the young one that's named after you.
Link.
Yeah. But if you don't call yourself Link in that file or something.
Oops, I'm like, I always name Link.
Oh, me too, but...
Yeah. And thank you to all the 70, 80, however many people were watching the entire time.
Tonight.
Yeah. So, going around, Ilya, who are you and where can people find you?
So, I am Ilya Rose. I do narrations for videos here at the GameOverJesse channel. I also make my own YouTube videos. Just look up Ilya Rose, ILIA space ROSE, or The Geek Apprentice, but I don't think that's like the main name on there. You might be able to find me that way. I post videos every other Wednesday. I have a video coming this Wednesday. I'm also on Instagram. I usually post random stuff, updates on videos, or really long Instagram stories about my existential crisis and ideas and thoughts on movies and books and things like that. That doesn't happen too often, only during Hunger Games month. And that is, what is it? Ilya Rose _ Geek Apprentice. And I think that's it. Yeah.
Alright. Tubes, tell us about yourself, Miss Clappity Clap.
Miss Clappity Clap, that's me. Yeah, I have been kind of on hiatus lately just because my life is probably the busiest thing that anyone has ever seen. But hopefully I will get a proper desk, but until then I will just be sitting here on my floor playing video games. I do plan on forming an actual stream schedule soon, so you guys can go ahead and follow me on Twitch at Chublima with an extra A because the Chublima. And you can follow me on Twitter at Chublima and find me here on the Hylian Gamescast whenever I actually make an appearance.
Alright, and Daniel, who are you?
Nobody. No, I'm a guy who talks too much, apparently.
No, I'm the one that talks too much.
But I'm the... Maybe that's why this works so well. I'm Daniel. If you really want to talk to me, the easiest and best way would be to join Jesse's Discord server, which he's posting in the chat. But please also feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram and Twitch as well at Capt Bergerson. That's CAPTBURGERSON. And yeah, I've been, as Jesse said, streaming Zelda 2 on Twitch. I am really almost done. I've been playing, or I played up to the last dungeon, and I'm like right at the entrance, and I was like, hey, I have to stop here because I need to I was actually getting pretty stressed out getting that far, so I'm pretty happy, and then I'm probably going to jump into A Link to the Past after I finish that, and I've been just kind of playing through Zelda games. Jesse,
could you stream Zelda 2 being stressed out by playing that while having the Avatar movie playing in the background? Like
we don't want Daniel to die, though.
Maybe like a dual monitor setup?
No, we need Daniel alive. To be fair. Let's spare his soul and not do that.
He is the king of burgers, yes.
Yes, that is me. That's funny. Okay, I was playing Pokemon and this morning, and my character is named Bergerson because it's every character in every game other than Zelda where I name him Link. But and there was some dialogue camp. Someone was like, "Oh, Bergerson, blah 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 blah," and my son, he's 6. He turns to me and goes, "Why are you always Bergerson?" I was just. I was like, I don't have a reasonable explanation. It's just because it's funny.
Quick piggybacking off of that, I know this is just a funny thing that happened with my family that kind of sort of ish similar to that. So my stepdad has a granddaughter, which I guess she's my niece anyway, named Eva. And every time, I guess there was just one time where we were all together and my stepdad wasn't wearing a hat. And she goes, Pop, I didn't know you had hair. And we all just sat there really confused, and we were like, she is 6 years old and she's only ever seen him with a hat on.
Oh my god.
Holy wow. Oh,
So,
wow.
That was just my random little family joke there.
Kids are hilarious.
Okay.
But yes, Zelda 2 has been intense, and I'm really close to finishing, and I can move on. I should get around to finishing Pikmin 3, but beside that, you can also check out my website, which is burgersonmedia.com. And because if you're ever curious about what I do other than this podcast and those Twitch streams, there's where you can find it. That's probably your best bet. So that's me.
All right. Yeah, go find Ilya and Tubes and Daniel, and to answer Evan's question there at the very end, because it's really simple. What if Ganon corrupted the Triforce, turned Zelda evil? He's corrupted the Triforce a few times, and he turned Zelda evil at the end of Twilight Princess, where she tries to kill you. And she looks all zombified. Looks even cooler in Twilight Princess HD as well. Anyways, I am Jesse. Everything is GameOverJesse. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, everything. Maybe things that I don't know about, because I'm pretty sure some people probably used it on other things. I don't know. But everything is /GameOverJesse. Join the Discord. You can chat with all of us, and then you can add us on the Instagrams and the Twitters. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Hey everyone, it's me again, Ilya Rose. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching this video. And you know what? If you're a fan of videos like this, you should totally subscribe and give this video a like, and comment below to let us know what type of videos you would like to see us create in the future. And if you would really like to support all of us here at the GameOverJesse channel, please consider purchasing a GameOverJesse t-shirt or becoming a Patreon at patreon.com/GameOverJesse, where you can receive many rewards, such as getting shoutouts, having any topic or theory that you select discussed on the podcast or made into its own video, having your question answered, joining on as a guest on the podcast, and playing with us during our Twitch live streams at twitch.tv/GameOverJesse, and much, much more.